Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Sky Realm here at Homie and the Dude. I'm Bodhi, you're an exceptional Dungeon Master, and I'm joined by our exceptional cast of players today. Quick couple of shout-outs. Shout out to the art team of Josh, Victor, and Alex. Shout out to the editing team of Becky and Ben. Also, guys, shout out to our official sponsor for this series, Underground Oracle Publishing. If you enjoy the character that Blake plays or any of the spells that he's casting, that has all been created by Underground Oracle, and they've allowed us to use that content in our stream. So if you're enjoying that, definitely go check out what they do. They make the best third-party D&D supplements around. Now that all of that is out of the way, last episode, our party infiltrated the Mensuren underground fencing guild. Toad and Blanco went in. Blanco got in a duel with Maddox Carlisle, the son of Malcolm Carlisle, leader of the People's Republic at this moment in time. The battle got really intense. The duel got pretty intense, and Blanco ended up surrendering, and Maddox accidentally unleashed a power within himself that he's very embarrassed of and doesn't want to show people. Thus, the duel kind of ended, and Maddox agreed to introduce Blanco and Toad to Leopold Armwit, the alpha of this fencing club, and the person that they have gone into this club to speak to. While that's going on, we have the rest of the party. We have Arinar and Ulfer outside the fencing club, keeping watch for anything that might go down, where Geo and Evis have made their way to a store to hopefully buy some garms to help the gang fit in a bit more in Uptown. So, if everybody is sitting comfortably, let us begin. So, as Geo and Evis are kind of walking through the streets, you guys turn the corner to this beautiful square that is in Uptown. You can see that there are two gorgeous, large marble buildings that ascend above the rest. One of them has large, like Acropolis pillars, out the front, and it has like a domed kind of roof behind that, and has big words across the top, and it says the Imperial Library there. And then as you kind of look around, there's some small like stores and whatnot in this area. There's a couple of cafes that have like tables and stuff outside in this like plaza area. And then across the way from that giant library, you can see a gorgeous building. Now this building is again white stone marble, and it's more into like lots of spires and points kind of erupting out of different parts of the building. You can see, however, there's this main spire, and on the front of that a depiction of a female with long flowing hair holding a tree branch in one hand and raising the other almost like as if to like be speaking to people, has been carved into the front of it. Evis, you'll recognize that as Alia almost straight away. And that is the church in Uptown as well. As you guys come in, you can see there's a small child kind of running near a cafe with a ball, kind of kicking it around as a mother's like, "Oh, Timmy, stop that! You're gonna hurt someone! Oh, be careful, Timmy! Jesus Christ!" And you can see, them kind of, having that over there. And there's just a bit of kerfuffle going on, but the square is really busy. It's basked in sunlight. It's beautiful sunlight out here. Yeah, over to you guys.
Gio's just kind of doing this with his hand. He's pressing it open and closed and saying, you know, Evis, yeah, I do feel better in one way and worse in another way. I think I'm not sure if I broke my hand or if it's sprained, but inside I do feel like something released. I'm wondering, do you think Arinar wanted me to punch him because of how we were talking to each other previously? Do you think he's I don't know, like mad at me, or don't know what's happening.
There's a few things that could be at play, and we all know that Arinar is a really complex and thoughtful individual, I think I'll say. And I don't believe that he would make any suggestions unless he thought it would be beneficial for everyone involved. That being said, oh.
Go.
That being said, I think he also needed to, have a little bit of endorphins rush through him. But let me look at your hand. That doesn't seem right. What do I need to? Should I do like a medicine check, Bodhi, to like check out Gio's hand?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, make a medicine check. I love it. First medicine check. Oh no, one of our first medicine checks of the campaign. Let's go.
Sick. That's a 23.
23. It doesn't look like Gio's broken anything. However, there's some clear bruising on the knuckles as Arinar's stiff, chiseled jaw connected with Gio's fist.
It definitely wasn't a shitty punch. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Gio, it's not broken. It's not like, I think it's just contused. You have some little bruises, but you'll be fine. Do you so you feel better after punching him?
I do feel better. It feels like I'm a little bit still concerned about what Toad and Blanco are doing inside, but I was just, it was like my skin was crawling, and it's not anymore. That's calmed down a little bit. And as I just want to say something, Avis, and I'm looking at the church as we're within very close proximity of the church, and I say,
like actively trying not to look at it.
Yeah. And I say, we haven't had a chance to talk for a long time. I don't know, lots has been going on, and I've been talking to some people, and you've been talking to some people, and I know that what was said in Oliver's house, I could see how that affected you. And looking across the road there, I think what I got from it is that your friends, it's Isao and Pabe, they were there yesterday. And I know we've got to get the Garms and everything, but what are you feeling right now?
Clarification, they were there a week ago, just a reminder.
Oh,
sorry.
Sorry.
Apologies,
Okay.
Go for it.
How are you feeling?
I don't know how I'm feeling, and I'm really trying not to focus on that because we have a greater task at hand, Is and Pave know me, and I know them better than anybody else in this world on these planes, and it is completely unlike them to not do everything in their power to report back to the monastery, right? So there has to be some reason that they're avoiding me, and sorry, I spoke out of turn. So if it's purposeful, I'd rather not deal with that pain right now, if we have something bigger at hand.
Yeah, okay. And we don't know if they're avoiding you. We don't know what is going on with them. Everyone has their own reality, and I couldn't have predicted what we've been going through for the last few days.
True.
There's been numerous things that I would have never been able to think would have happened to us. So they might be on a similar adventure that has occupied them, and perhaps they are intending to reach out to you when they're able to.
Right. Well, at the very least, I'm just relieved to know they're alive. Or at least were alive a week ago, you know? And they... It just hurts because when you say you're partnered to somebody for life, you would... Sorry. This is not like me. No. Let's just carry on. We'll get our garms. We will get our robes. We have a job to do. And we will cross that bridge when we need to cross it. But I appreciate you checking in on me, Gio. It means a lot.
Gio stops for a minute and turns to Evis and says, I don't know Evis and Pave, but I can see how important they are to you. And of course, no one else can be partners for life with you. But I can be your friend for life. And Gio hands out his hands and says, we haven't done this for a while.
No, we haven't. And they do it again.
Cute. Inspiration.
It's very good.
Evis as well.
Thank you. I already have a D10, so it's a D12.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
And you guys are kind of doing this. As you do this, suddenly, Evis, you feel something hit you on the back of the leg. And suddenly you hear, excuse me, I'm sorry that I hit you with my ball. Can I have it back, please?
Of course.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Your hair
Evis
is amazing.
Thank you. Evis will like pick up the ball and like toss it and then like do that thing that you see in cartoons a lot and then give the ball back.
Wow, that's amazing. You're incredible. Bye. And you see the little kid like grab the ball and run off and go back to the mom, and you see the mom be like, I told you. And the kid be like, did you see that, Mom? Did you see what they did? Look at their hair. I want hair like that one day. Can we dye my hair that color? And you guys are still stood in the plaza.
Yeah.
Are you okay for us to... Should we still go look for this garment shop? Or...
Oh. I think we need a little retail therapy.
Yeah.
We owe it to ourselves.
And I'm pull out my list and I'm like, okay, I've got the list. We've got XL, we've got Toads, Baby Gap.
Toad size.
And we've got...
Yeah.
Okay.
As you guys look around, you can see that there is a store that is labeled Capes, Drapes, and Cutting Shapes. And that's over off in one corner. You can see another one says Feluccio's #1 garment store.
I think it's one of these. Well, maybe it's either.
I would prefer to go to the one with the rhyme in the name, just because that seems a little bit more fun.
I do think you're right. We need some fun right now. Let's go to Capes, Drapes, and Cutting Shapes. You know what, Evis? They're going to probably have to cut a really weird shape for me. Look at this silly old... I don't know what I'm going to do with this shell.
You look great.
Are you
It's like your own built-in cutting shape.
Amazing. You guys make your way over to Capes, Drapes, and Cutting Shapes. As you enter this store that is like what I would describe as kind of like a carpet store on the inside. There's like large wraps of cloth on like spools on the wall that you can pull bits off and like cut a bit off that you want. You can see that there's on the other side of the room there's like mannequins that have like capes all over them, and you can also see that there is like a section that is like almost poles, like curtain poles and things like that, basically. And as you walk in, this lady kind of enters, and this lady is wearing a gorgeous sari over her head, and these like gorgeous flowing like thin cloth kind of robes. And as she enters, she's like, "Hello, welcome to my store. Capes, Drapes, and Cutting Shapes. Which will it be? Capes, Drapes, or or shall I just cut you some shapes?
Do you want to take this, Evis?
Yeah. Well, ma'am, it is a pleasure to meet you. And they like reverently like nod their head just a little bit. We're just on the look for some capes and or drapes.
Of course. Well, we have some amazing capes here, whether you need them for a punctual ball evening or whether you need it to travel across the skies. We've got all the wonders here at my magnificent shop. So, what will
It's
it
quite
be?
magnificent.
What can I? What colors are you looking for? Well, what can I grab for you?
Well, my friend and I are with another group of folks who are newer to town, and we are just looking for something that helps us fit in a little bit more as we're here in the People's Republic. And, you know, if we are also on a really tight budget, so I mean, if you happen to have like a clearance rack or something, just the teachings of my goddess always try to be as frugal as possible.
She walks over and she's like, yes, it seems the garbs that you're wearing, as she lifts a little bit of Geo's like neckerchief are, well, you know, they look good enough, but we can definitely get you to blend in a little bit more up here. Okay, so budget, okay. Well, you know what they say, a good cape keeps the doctor away. So let me quickly go, one moment, and she begins opening a box and kind of like rifling through, and she's like, yes, this one will do. She places the box down. In here are kind of, I guess, clearance, secondhand stuff that has been returned. There's some minor things that we did not do. We did not create the pulls of thread and the little tears here and there. That's not us. The customers who purchased these and then returned them did that during their time having them. Just for clarifications, we don't sell capes and garms with tears and pulled threads. That's not what we do here in my magnificent shop. So this box right here, would you like to have a look through? There's about 10 capes in there, so feel free to have a little rifle through.
Yeah, they rifle through. Do we find anything that's like
passable? Can you, Amber, please describe to me the capes at which you find inside the box and what capes you pull out of the box?
Okay. Let's see. There is. Hold on. I am looking for inspiration around my desk. Okay, there is one cape that has like it's the silks on it have like this like marbling effect of like purples and like magentas and blues, inspired by this dice on the top of the little mini D20 on top of the hair stick. You probably can't see it, but yeah, it's like, I think those are colors that would actually look really good on Arinar.
Perfect. So you pull that one and put that aside for Arinar.
Yes, it's definitely an extra large. There's a little small Dracula cape, because this is the second hand. A little red and black Dracula cape, but it's like cat size, so perfect for Toad. Probably helps like illuminate the piercings on his wings too. I
love that.
To like frame his little wings.
Perfect.
Inspired by my Dracula duck on my desk. I'm sorry. There's like have you seen like those, you know, the shifting like the fabrics that shift from like green to blue to teal, like the mermaid scale fabric?
100%.
I think there's something that's very that kind of fits within this.
Is it like sequined? So like that one, you know, where it's like sequiny, or is it more just like velvet kind of flows from like one?
Looking at this dice bag, and I'm like, oh, Yeah,
Awesome.
how it goes. Yeah, so I think
Perfect.
that would be a good one for Geo, actually. There's probably like a silvery one with like purple accents for me.
Amazing.
And then I'm just trying to think the perfect one for Blanco. I feel like maybe it would be because like a suede, like a navy suede, right? Just to like very luxurious, like to very soft to the touch, but like has some good heft to it to be rugged and sturdy for a ranger.
I love that. I love that. And as you pull these out, you get that smell of like almost like old clothes and old books as you're kind of pulling these capes out of this box. And as you do, and you kind of like look at each one, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that one will do. And no, not that one. Oh, yeah, that one's nice. And you're kind of pulling those up. She's like, oh, wow, you really have an eye for it. I wonder, my assistant actually recently was let go, and I was wondering if you have a spare time. You mentioned you're new to the city. If you're in need of employment, we would be delighted to have someone with such a keen eye for materials here at Capes, Drapes, and Cutting Shapes.
Oh no, I don't intend
My
on
magnificent store.
Thank you. That is very kind of you. But two things. One, I don't intend on being here long. That is very, very kind of you. But also, second, you said your assistant was let go, but you fired your assistant, and
Unforeseen circumstances sometimes arise in professional relationships, and it was what it was. I can't say any more than that, confidentiality between employees and whatnot. However, if you meet them, I'm sure they'll be happy to tell you the tale of their betrayal. Now, would you like me to ring those up for you?
sure, that would be great. It's just
Because, we don't do tales here.
I was fired, so I'm a little bitter, so.
We don't do tales here, I'm sure you can see. Drapes, capes,
Right.
not tales.
Right.
So, ring these ones up for you?
That'd be lovely.
No problem at all. And she kind of is like looking at them. She's like, you know what? Just because I appreciate your keen eye, how about we say this? Make you a little deal. Just because I'd love you to come back and maybe reconsider my offer of working here, or possibly collect yourself some more capes for your collection, maybe if you leave, or so on and so forth, or maybe when you go back to wherever you've come from, to the People's Republic, you could take some stock back with you and create an outlet of my store. So why don't we say this? Because they're secondhand, you can have them on the house, just this once.
Here, out of character, I was like, is she gonna ask me to start a pyramid scheme?
Well, she's kind of doing that, yeah.
That is very kind of you. I appreciate that very kind of, but what? There have to be strings attached. I would love to insight check her.
Go for it.
That is a dirty 20.
With a dirty 20, you can tell she's very keen to expand her operation, and this is an opportunity in her mind to either gain a new employee or possibly have Capes, Drapes, and Cutting Shapes be represented on another island, possibly that you're from, and maybe you taking some stock home with you might be a way for you to get her brand out further reaches outside of the People's Republic itself.
Amber the marketer is like, oh, cool, great. Evis, the religious acolyte, is like, that's. Let me think about this. What was your name? I'm so sorry.
Oh, my name is Cassandra. Lovely to meet you. Yes.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Cassandra. I am Evis. Let me think about this. This is a very kind and generous offer.
Also, it's Cassandra Snapes, owner of Capes, Drapes, and Cutting Shapes.
Naturally.
Geo
Sandra
reads.
Snapes, owner of...
Geo
Go ahead,
reads.
Geo.
Geo reads Evis's discomfort with this offer, and reaches behind into his shell and pulls out his little wallet and says, "We really appreciate the very, very generous offer, but would you accept a couple gold pieces just for the generosity that you've given us? We'd like to exchange generosity back with you."
In my magnificent shop, of course. With your generosity, I cannot say no. When someone is generous, I will never step in the way of generosity. So, you know what? Sure, I'll take a couple gold, enjoy your garments, and if you wish to come back, know that I would be delighted to serve both you with your keen eye and you.
Thank you so much. I think we have everything we need. Don't you think we've... And I'm ticking through the list of all of the different capes and shapes that we have gone through. And it's everyone on the list has been taken care of. I think we're good.
Amazing. How many gold do you give her as well, by the way?
I give her 5 gold.
5 gold, beautiful. She willingly accepts, places it in her hand, and opens the drawer and places it in what you assume is, a version of a cash register. And she goes, "It has been an absolute pleasure. May you walk in the steps of the great goddess Alia. Have a wonderful afternoon, all of you, and I look forward to seeing you again soon."
Excuse me, one further question.
Yes, of course.
What does Alia mean to you?
Dearest. Well, I haven't been asked that question for a while, but...
You brought her up, so I mean, from one...
Yeah. Of course, no, from my family, we have always been followers of the Primus. It's been something we've done for a very long time, and we very much believe that the fortune that our family has received has been thanks to the great goddess Alia. Now, obviously, there's speculation about her and things at this time, but we are so strong in our faith that she's never steered us wrong. Our family has never been led in a wrong step or a wrong path, thanks to her guidance and through our prayers. So what she means to me is prosperity, luck, good vibes, I guess, and just a memory of a time that was a lot brighter than the one we currently live in. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Amazing. Well, do you know what? I hope you have a wonderful day and be safe out there. Thank you so much for coming in. And at that moment, we're going to cut back to Arinar and Ulfr outside of the Mensuren hideout. And Ulfr is going to roll some dice and go, "Damn it! You beat me again, Arinar! How do you keep doing this? Those are my dice, but did you load them when I wasn't looking?"
How would I possibly be able to accomplish that?
That's a good point. I'm just getting frustrated. Never mind. As he says this, Arinar, out the corner of your eye, you see a familiar face step out of the tea shop. Kind of look up at the sun. Give a little stretch. Kind of look left, look right, and begin to kind of walk away and then take a couple steps away. Anything you want to do?
Arinar is, I think, very visibly, restraining himself from tearing this man limb to limb in the middle of the street. And I think Olafur could definitely... he's not trying to hide it all. He's his hands are shaking. As he's almost frothing with rage as he's looking at Meridas for the first time in years, quite frankly.
He has not aged as well as you would think. He's definitely not looking as good as you might have hoped. Arinar, there's definitely some wrinkles in places that you hadn't seen last time. His garms seem a lot nicer than they used to when you knew him. He's rocking some real nice clothes right now and looking real good. And as Ulfr kind of turns back around and notices you shaking, he's like, "Oh, are you okay? What's happened?"
Punch me in the face.
Me? Now?
Yes, punch me in the face right now.
Okay. And he just goes for it and smacks you. And you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as he goes, "Ah! Son of a... Jesus! What is your face made out of? Freaking... Oh my god!"
I'll be right
Ow!
back. Arnar's going to breathe in and then calmly stand up. Excuse me.
Is he speaking to Meridas?
Yes.
You see, he stops in his tracks, turns to face you. Can you please make an insight check on the look that he's giving you?
I don't know if he will recognize me, because I was a skinny little half-orc lad when I was writing that dissertation, so like no tattoos, no nothing, so I don't know if he... it's a 17 on insight, though.
17?
Yeah.
It's that look that you get when a stranger walks up to you and tells you that you've just dropped something on that floor. This guy not only doesn't recognize you, he doesn't remember you at all.
Yeah.
It's not even in his mind. Yes, can I help you?
I'm sorry. I believe I might recognize you. You wouldn't happen to be Meridas Kulenov?
You see him again do like a little two-step shuffle and bow. Indeed, that is me. I am the great Meridas Kulenov. What can I do for you? What's your name, sir?
Oh, me. My name is Arinar Greywolf.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Arinar. What can I do for you today?
I was wondering, oh no, I don't have it on me. I have a copy of Ratio et Propositium. I was simply wondering if I myself am a bit of a scholar. I was wondering how you possibly could come across such brilliance within your writing. How did you get those studies?
You see him stop for a second, compose himself, pull off his backpack and go, "That is not a problem at all. For a fan, you're so lucky. I always carry a copy or two on me." And he opens his bag and pulls it out, pulls a pen from his pocket again, and signs the inside cover again. Meridas Kulenov to Arinar Greywolf. May you find inspiration in your friends around you. And closes the cover and goes, here, have this one. And well,
I grab his wrist.
Oh, yes.
Tell me, I'm a massive fan of your work. What does the first sentence of the 3rd chapter say? Just out of curiosity.
Well, you will know
Surely
that
you would know.
If you're a fan, you would know that there is no 3rd chapter. It's actually written in segments. I haven't written it in chapters, so there is no 3rd chapter. Good one. That was good. You almost got me there. I wrote this on a retreat that I did. I went to Thembador, where I went up to the monastery at the top of the mountain and meditated for 60 days and 60 nights before coming to this realization and jotting it down. But all I had around me, because it's such a, they try and keep it very basic in the monastery up there, all I had was some charcoals and stones. So I actually wrote my theorem on the walls of the monastery.
That's incredible. How interesting. I'm surprised you don't recognize me. We actually attended the same university.
Did we? Oh, a pleasure to see an old friend. What were you studying at the time?
Oh, me, I was studying anthropology and psychology, and the interactions of people, such as a very similar subject to this very book.
You're not right. We must have been in the same class. Maybe we were like different classes of the same thing. I don't quite remember you in any of the lectures or anything like that.
I tightened my grip on his wrist. That's interesting, considering you stole my work. and humiliated me in front of all of you.
At this moment, you watch his eyes go wide as the realization of who he is currently stood in front of dawns on him. Not only does it dawn upon him that Arinar Grey Wolf is the person he stole the thesis from, but it dawns on him that the new Arinar Grey Wolf is twice as wide as him and 3 times as intimidating as the young scrawny half-orc that he betrayed was back in the day. As he looks at you, he goes, "No," and tries to pull his arm free of yours.
Oh, don't worry, Meridas. I intend you no harm. And I lean in really close. You see, you've already killed yourself. You sit upon a throne of my accomplishments, and you claim that the crown you wear on your head is your own, when in fact I wove it for you with nothing but my hands. I cannot kill you, for you are merely a husk of a person, masquerading around as but a mask on a shadow.
At this point, you see his demeanor just diminish. All the confidence that was there is gone. His arm becomes almost limp in your grip as he kind of like cowers and is like, hey, I'm so sorry, man. If you want royalties, whatever you want. And at this point, Ulfr kind of comes over and steps in and kind of like tries to grab you by the waist and is like, we are so sorry. He must be confusing you for someone. We are so sorry, and tries to like separate you and him.
Interrupt me, Ulfr.
He lets go. And at this point, a woman across the road kind of hears this kerfuffle and turns and begins watching on as well. As Meridas goes, "Man, I'll give you whatever you want. What do you want, man?"
Up.
Yes.
Like I said, I intend you no harm, because there is nothing that I could do that would hurt you any more than you living a lie and feeling that guilt festering inside you, knowing that all of your accomplishments mean nothing. I've already won. And I let go of his arm.
As you let go, like his like pull momentum that he was doing means that he topples over and falls onto the ground in like in a clump with his like coat kind of wrapped around him and his bag kind of strewed. A couple of the copies of the book fall onto the ground. He kind of like scooches backwards away from you and he's like, "I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, okay? Jeez." And you see him like get up, like begin collecting his things as he kind of like looks at you in fear and goes, "Just leave me alone, man." And like goes to like beeline it away from you in fear. Amazing. As you cackle, he runs away and barges through some people and sends, a gentleman carrying a box, just kind of hurtling. The box topples, and he's just like, and kind of like scurries away around the corner and disappears. At that moment, we're going to cut back inside to the Mensuren hideout with Blanco, Toad, Maddox, and Leopold all stood in the main room of the Mensuren hideout. You have Maddox has just introduced the alpha of this fencing club, Sir Leopold Armwith. And as Leopold kind of comes in, he's like, excuse me, hello there. My name is Leopold. My keen assistant here tells me that you wish to speak to me. Is this matter something we can discuss here, or would you like to take it privately to my office? Is it urgent, or are we?
Yeah, it's urgent. I guess we can go privately if possible. If it's not possible with your schedule.
Of course, that's not a problem. Follow me to my office, and you see him, with his little and you guys have got to be wondering, like in your head, you're looking at this old, frail man. How is this the alpha of a fencing club? Like, and Maddox is talking all this shit about Blanco not being able to defeat this elderly gentleman who's got his cane and is kind of like hobbling around. as he kind of continues, and he gets to a door, opens the door, and you can see that there's a staircase that leads upwards. At this point, Maddox is kind of left, and he turns to Blanco and he goes, before you go, I just wanted to apologize just once more, and say, if you ever wish to come train with me, I have a dojo where I live at the Carlisle compound. I'd be honored to learn, where you learned that surprise attack from, and I could maybe teach you some of my fencing technique called the hand and mouth. I'd be honored to share some of that with you. So if you wish to come up, please, come and see me up at my compound, and we can train together sometime. That would be an honor of mine, especially after the dishonor I brought upon myself today.
Blanco,
I'd relay that.
Thank you. Blanco is thinking that this is honorable and everything, it sort of feels like this is a way he could get closer, hopefully, being a Carlisle, possibly Malcolm Carlisle. He's got this whole idea of the man with the black hands, and he says to Toad, please pass on my gratitude, and I would very much like to take him up on his offer. That would be most kind of him. While inside he knows he's saying something that is truthful and he is feeling honorable, but there's also the mission in the back of his head.
Well, that'd be the most. That'd be. They would gladly accept that. If you don't mind, your family's pretty popular here, right? So we're new here, but I think I've heard of your family, right? You're pretty.
Yes, I'm a Carlisle. Pleasure to meet you. My father is Malcolm, the warden of the People's Republic here.
And Blanco goes, I told you, I knew it.
Is what they say true about his hands? I've heard a rumor that they're like a black coloring. I don't know. I've heard people talking about it, but it didn't make sense to me.
Go on, Bart. Let's have you make a good old persuasion check with your enhanced ability and all of that. Go for it.
Good. That's a 25.
Oh yes.
Here we go.
Loving this.
You see him look over your shoulder to Leopold, who is kind of begun taking, his first slow steps up the stairs, and he goes, sorry, did you say the rumors that he has black hands? Is that's what you said, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, something weird like that. I'm not sure, but
he goes, look, I'm not sure where that rumor came from. Strange, because no, he does not have black hands at all. His hands were injured in a, and you see him like take a second, swallow very hard, in a incident that happened. Yeah, and no,
I'm so sorry that
his skin and muscle is completely burnt away from his hands. He wears gloves these days, but he's been left with skeletal hands.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I thought the rumor sounded dumb, and I'm so sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that he's still alive, whatever happened.
Blanco reiterates to Toad, he's like, oh, I was so close, but I agree with you. It feels like this young man has been through so much. But
you hear suddenly Leopold from like halfway up the stairs be like, come on, I don't have all day. Come on now, you.
Sorry, but we would definitely like to they would definitely like to train with you, and they want to reiterate that you are a most honorable fighter, and I'll say myself too that you did, just by apologizing, you realize you may have made a mistake, and by apologizing and owning up to it, you're already, that's
you see
on the
him.
right path.
You see him while you kind of talking about this. He reaches up to his face and like touches the burnt side of his face, and then like lets his hand drop as if his mind is elsewhere while you're saying this to him. And he goes, "Yeah, I've got to go. Thanks for today, and I'll catch you guys around. Nice meeting you, Black Magic and T." And he bows back to you, and his bow, he like visibly goes to make it lower than yours, Blanco, and then kind of backs away and is like, "Enjoy talking to Leopold. I hope you find out what are able to discuss what you needed to."
As we were about to go up the stairs to follow Leopold, I turned to Toad and said, "Toad, I need to apologize. I let my vision cloud my actions, and I want you to know that I have realized that my rapier can only be used when I find the man with black hands, and while I was in there, I felt like I was not honorable to who I am, and to do this surprise attack, I allowed my head to rule my actions, and I thank you for always coming back to the point of honor, and for this I sheath my rapier now. I shall now not use it until we find the man with black hands."
Just so you guys know, it is about 12 o'clock in game time at this point.
I feel that I have maybe made it difficult for us to obtain information, but we shall see. That he's taking us to his private quarters. Maybe we can have an honest talk with him.
That's what I was thinking too. So we'll.
Amazing. You guys ascend the staircase up into his office. You see as you come up, it's this gorgeous office with bookshelves on either side, and behind the desk you can see there's a large mahogany desk in the center of the room, with a bear pelt carpet in the center of the room. You can see that he kind of shuffles around, pulls out his chair, and kind of sits down, rests his cane up against the table as he unclips his scabbard and lays it on the table in front of him, and goes, "Oh, come in here, take a seat. What is it I can do for you both today?"
And above table, so we only know that Leopold just knows the schematics. We don't know like he just knows. That's all we know about him. That he knows that he has schematics. That's it, correct?
You guys know that he is the head architect of the reservoirs, and if anyone were to have the blueprint or any sort of indication of the building's layout, he would be the guy.
But nothing else about him, like what side he might be on, stuff like that. Just basic, just he just being instructed. That's it.
Yeah.
Blanco sort of steps around the bear rug to sit down. Doesn't wish to step on another animal's skin or fur. Sort of like edges his way around and sits down. Toad, please relay our thanks for this meeting.
So, thank you. I just want to thank you for meeting with us right now. It's an honor to meet you.
Of course. And how may I address the two of you? You know my name is Leopold. Well, how may I address the two of you?
So, how do you want me to still black magic? Or
I think if we are being honest, say Blanco.
So, my name is I'm Toad, and this is Blanco. Blanco, I don't know if you need me to translate. They know the language. I think you can suffice to.
Well, Blanco and Toad, it is a pleasure. I hope that I may be able to assist you. You seem quite in duress. You seem like there's something quite important on your mind, Mr. Toad.
Yeah, there is. just a lot. I mean, with the water and everything, just a lot. And you were, and I've heard plenty of tales, but you helped design the aqueduct, right? That was, you're the one who.
Yeah, I am. Well, I was employed by the daimyo. I was part of the construction of the imperial city and a good proportion of the People's Republic as well. But primarily, yes, I worked on the reservoirs in the city. That was my main project. Yes. Are you architects yourself?
Looking to get into it more. Like, we're definitely trying to study it more. So, to be honest, we are looking more to just curious about the schematics stuff, which I know you probably can't share, but we are kind of curious about how you were able to design everything. I mean, it's so intricate, but so also still has such its own kind of style to it, if that makes sense. I mean, it's almost beyond describing how you're able to make it work, and so.
Tell him we have. Yeah, we have been in awe of the city that he has mainly been the builder of, the architect.
I appreciate your very kind words. Toad, can you please make a persuasion check with actually, you know what, make a deception check with advantage.
Oh, okay. Dang, that's not good.
You have inspiration.
Okay.
You have inspiration.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'll probably use that, so... Okay. Where is that? 12. So... 17.
17. He looks at you for a second, stops, and he goes, "You know, the last architects that came in here were trying to steal my work. I garroted both of them and took their Adam's apples for breakfast. But I really appreciate how much you appreciate my work. It's very hard to get practicality and, you know, art together. And, you know, the fact that you can see that, you know, I've spoken to many architects, and when I show them my reservoirs, they're all like, man, you know, it's a reservoir. But they can't see the beauty that you can clearly see, Mr. Toad. So I like a like-minded person like myself. So what was it you were wanting to know specifically about the way that is it function? Is it aesthetics? Are you looking for more of the, I believe, the style that I was trying to encompass? I'm not sure if you got this, but I was trying to go very Art Deco with what I was creating, the curves and everything like that. I'm not sure whether you got that feeling. It seems like someone as astute as yourself would be able to see that.
I was getting closer. I didn't think that exactly. That's what I was kind of thinking, but I didn't want to be wrong, and so.
You are not wrong at all. No, dead on the money. So, what aspect of the reservoirs are you interested in? What can I possibly teach to budding architects today?
Blanco leans into Toad and says, maybe we could ask him to show us how he created the different floors in the Art Deco style, just so that how we could understand how to build a building on different levels in the Art Deco style, and he might show us the different floors.
Yes. So, like they were asking, so all the floors that you made, like, how were you able to incorporate that design to all the floors? Like, you know, they're all such that distinct style, but still able to function so well.
Two things. One, Tracy, I believe Toad has revealed that you are using a fake. You're using fake dialogue, so you can now speak in common to them.
Oh, can we?
I didn't say they were fake. I said they know enough of language to get by.
Yeah.
Okay.
To be able to converse.
We were speaking in like animal, you know, because we both speak. Okay.
So he goes, that is a phenomenal question. Layering is very important, and let me tell you a tale. So there was a great architect, Meridas, and Meridas was an incredible architect back when Pangaea was whole. Now, and he stands up and begins pacing as he says this. Now, when Meridas built the first library I don't mean to be rude, but sometimes you're speaking and not understand so much. I am better visual than words. I'm sorry, the language is difficult. But I'm better if I see things, then I understand them. Of course, you know what I will do? I'd be glad to show you guys the blueprints of what I created so that you could see exactly, how it kind of went about. Let me just finish my tale because this is a great one for any young architect that hasn't heard this tale. Well, so Meridas, when he built the first library in Creator for the great goddess Alia, he built this magnificent building. It was greater than any that had been seen before, and this Genasi was the best architect around. It rose hundreds of feet in the air and was truly a statement of her power. However, Meridas, in his arrogance, forgot to account for the books. So with each year, once the library had been constructed, it began sinking into the ground 1 foot each year. And within 50 years, it was completely gone. So I say to both of you, never forget the books. Never forget the books. And this is why I built my reservoirs in such a way. So let me quickly, one moment. And he goes behind his chair, and you can see that there is a giant, behind his chair, there's that bookcase, and above the bookcase is a giant oil painting of himself. Like in a chair looking regal. And he pulls a ladder across, climbs up the ladder, actually opens the painting to reveal a safe in the wall. He looks at you and he goes, "Oh, one moment," and leans his ear against the safe, begins doing the tumbler. The safe opens, he reaches in and pulls out a couple of rolled up large pieces of like A3 paper, and it climbs back down and places them on the table, opens them out in front of you. And he opens out, I'll quickly, we'll just go through this quickly. So he opens out this floor first. Not sure if you guys can see that. Can you guys see that?
It's on the map? Okay, let me go to the map.
Yeah. It's on the mapping chart. Amazing. So he goes, this is the basement floor. Now, this is where the books come in. I made sure to reinforce all of the walls in the basement so that they could withstand the structural integrity and the amount of water that was going to be put into each reservoir, which, as you probably know, is thousands of gallons, thousands and thousands and thousands of gallons. So, as you can see, the structural shape, I chose a very interesting shape. You can see the octagonal structure of it really allowed me to create a strong base here. Then obviously I made room for all, the prison cells over here and made sure that the cells could hold the roof above. Of course, I built the arcane scanner in the center of the room. And then there are the 2 other rooms. I'm not quite sure what they've done with them since, but I built 2 other rooms just in case they needed to store things or things like that down here.
I don't know.
Yes, sir.
I am so sorry. You are speaking very fast.
Would you like me to slow down?
That would be. The
Of course.
arcane scanner is. This is a new term for me.
It is a new technology that myself and Lucian Clark Machino of the People's Republic invented together. This is basically somewhere where you can pass a prisoner through and it will detect whether they have any hidden items on their person before you then can relieve them of those items and place them in their prison cell. But yes, this is the basement floor.
So
Toad and Blanco, can you please make
design.
investigation checks? Can you please make investigation checks or perception checks, whichever you would prefer?
I'm bad at both. Perception or investigation? Let me see. Perception.
Investigation and perception.
Ooh.
That's a dirty 20. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Beautiful. Blanco, as you look at this first layer of map here, and you're kind of like looking at it, and you're like, you can see in the left-hand corner that it seems like Leopold put in a drainage system somewhere in this like left-hand room. And as you kind of notice, you notice that there's 2 locations that are marked in red on the map currently. Both are grates in the floor that you believe, Blanco, could easily be lifted from below and accessed. He then quickly pulls the next floor over on top of this floor and rolls it out for you guys.
I have a quick question. You are very, very smart in this room because this is the foundation. We are learning this, Toad and I. You don't have any windows? Or...
Of course not. It's subterranean. There's no windows. Of course not. That would be silly.
This is the basement.
Yes, this is the basement.
Toad, did you find it a most amazing shape?
Yes, and I love how the arcane scale that you still kept that same design with it too. So it's functional, but yet it still has that. You still put that flow in there. You can still see that touch. Oh.
That's
c'est janvier. I agree. That's c'est janvier.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
By this, I'm trying to get like Toad and I remembering things in the room, like together. It was very smart to put some different rooms and different things into the room and drains. You have some drains or something like this. Is this?
Of course, you always have to allow for drainage, just in case, for some obscure reason, if the water in the reservoir were to leak, it could possibly drain away. Of course. Yes, you've got to, like I said, got to be thinking about the books. The water is the books in this case.
Absolutely, it's so heavy. It's
exactly. I can see you're getting it. Water, books, same thing. We're on the same page, right? Next floor, and he pulls out the next floor. Yes, Amber, go for it.
I'm just gonna be right back. Continue.
Cool. As he pulls out the next floor, he goes, now this is the ground floor. This is my favorite floor. I made it as grand as I possibly could. As you can see, I made sure that the warden has the Machino has a very nice office area where they can be separate from the rest of the guard hooligans that work here. I made sure that the distribution room in the top left-hand corner had ample room to store water and then distribute it to the people of Uptown. Of course, they need a locker room, so I made sure that the locker room was constructed. But the entryway is where all the glory is. You should see the pillars that I carved in there. I carved them by hand, Toad, by hand. Do you get what I'm saying?
What did that take? Oh.
At least 5 days. I did have a couple of other hands helping me, but I did it myself as well.
It's amazing. And how do you keep everyone secure in the building? It's so difficult to...
Well, this is the thing. I made sure that there's only one way in or out. It means if you're going in, you're going to have to work exceedingly hard. If you want to get in through the front and then cause chaos, the guards, you're not getting out easily either. So one way in, one way out, straight through the entrance, as you can see by the secretary's area there. You can see right in the far left in the middle.
You are so smart.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate someone who can appreciate intelligence. That is true appreciation. Can you guys both make perception or investigation checks again for this floor?
It's not.
I have 17.
17. Blanco, again, as you look at this floor, there's something a little bit odd to you. You can see that the main entrance, the red mark at the front here, is definitely a way to get in. You could 100% walk in through the front door. However, you notice in the drawings that the wall of the outer wall of the People's Republic actually connects to the backside of this reservoir. And you notice on the map that there seems to be like a crack in the wall that has been circled, and a line has been written saying needs to be filled. And you can see that this crack would lead through the wall into the locker room and definitely could be another point of entry.
Or escape.
Or escape, indeed.
I have to commend you on how you have the proportion sizes of the rooms. Toad, do you not feel these rooms are very well proportioned with the way Leopold has laid it out?
And the shape, again, just the shape alone.
Oh, you are both too kind, but let me show you. Let me show you Now, don't get me wrong, the ground floor is my favorite. It's the one that I put, most of my effort in to look beautiful because, most people are down here. But the next 2 floors, let me just tell you, that is where things get very interesting. And he pulls out the next map. And
I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration on him too, because I'm like, oh my gosh, go on. So I'm cast Bardic Inspiration on him.
Awesome. He's like, this is the water dying floor. Now, I was instructed by Lucian that this was vital because without being able to dye the water, it cannot be rationed. So, as you can see, I made it so that the giant tanks of water actually go through the ceiling into this floor. Pipes run along into the dyeing room where you are then able to dye, all the water with the colors and then be distributed. But the beauty here is that these tanks are half suspended through a roof. Do you know how I did that with no supports underneath? Would you like to know?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I would be delighted to tell you. It was with a lot of hard work. That is how I did it. That's one of my secrets that I just cannot give out. I apologize. It's a little joke that I like to play on people. Apologies. I can't give that one away, or else I wouldn't be the architect that I am. But no worries. I just thought you would like that one. But yes, finally, we have the top floor. And the top floor is the roof. This is where you can see the top of the reservoirs. I made sure that they were completely sealed from the top, no access to the reservoirs, from the roof. However, I made sure that there was many points of which guards could look out upon the city, and if they needed to alert people of such activities or maldoings, if anything is going wrong around there. Of course, I put in a couple of nice flower beds because even though guards are barbarians, barbarians do still enjoy a good flower here and there. It is what it is. This one, let me just tell you, and I will tell you, but let me tell you, this floor, the mosaics I have put on the floor, you will be blown away. Now you might say, why put a mosaic on a roof? Well, it's so that the guards flying around on their manticores every now and then who come down from the people from the Imperial City are able to bear witness to the glory that is my creation. So if you see any Hikoshi guards, know that guard has likely seen my art and is probably impressed.
Oh,
I know I'm impressed. That is just the attention to detail. You don't get that everywhere. That's
no, you don't get that anywhere. Let's be real. You don't get that anywhere. Detail, I'm the guy. So let me just say, is there anything else is there anything in particular about the the levels that I've shown you? Is there anything that I could teach you? You guys, please both make perception checks and investigation checks for this floor.
My gosh. 10. I've been rolling so bad.
22.
Boom. Blanco coming in again.
Blood.
He's staring hard.
I've got advantage on this, +4. Yeah.
You can see that the stairwell that goes up through all the floors, there's a single stairwell that goes from the basement to the ground floor to the water dyeing room all the way up to the roof. You imagine if somehow you got onto the roof, Blanco. Wouldn't be too hard to go down the stairs. That seems like a pretty nice point of entry.
I have a question. You have built a staircase, and we are learning that a staircase can create a point of sort of like when a structure is very
like
firm,
weak?
a point, yes, of weakness, and sometimes. So, explain how do you do this? How do you access to stop the weakness of the doors? And
let me tell you. And you see him dramatically put his hand on his head and raise a hand. Let me just tell you. Look, what they teach you in architecture school is that stairs are weakness. Let me tell you right now that Leopold Armwith makes stairs strength. Stairs are the strength of this building. How else can you ascend from floor to floor? I mean, come on now. Easy access to be able to move up and down. The guards need to be able to, on the flash, the click of a fingers, run between the floors and solve any issues that they might have. So this, I put to you, is a point of strength.
oh,
As he says that, Blanco, you think, well, it seems like I could walk down those stairs pretty fucking easily and would be probably a point of weakness, actually.
So what you are saying is that you can create doorways with no doors or locks on staircases, which is a great thing for access and speed. Oh,
Speed, access, inclusivity, diversity, synchronicity, energenisticism, all things that you need to consider when you are being an architect.
Was that energenisticism?
I go to Toad. This is fantastic information. I hope. Are you using your?
Would you like to
mind
write
and your
anything down? I
brain
have a
and
quill
your-
and paper. Would you like to write something down?
Oh, yes.
What would that be?
Of course, no problem. And he hands you a quill and paper. And he goes, so in my years of being an architect, and begins just
While
like
he's doing
rambling.
that, I go, Toad, you take the first 2 floors. I take the basement and
I'm gonna enhance ability for them, for him. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna cast it on. Gonna give them, because you're trying to. What's the problem? Gonna be intelligence. Because if they're you're planning on copying it down.
Remember?
You're trying to, like, sketch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so for that, I'm gonna give you. Yep, I'm gonna give you enhanced ability for intelligence. So Fox is cunning.
And you see him kind of begin pacing and just begin rambling and being like, in my first year at architecture school, it was the hardest year of my life. And he just goes on. And at this moment, we're going to cut back outside as Geo and Evis rejoin Arinar and Ulfer as this kerfuffle with Meridas has just gone down. You guys are like walking around the corner to see Meridas kind of scuttle off and disappear and be like, leave me alone. And you see like murmurs of people and like small clusters of people watching this go down and be like, did you see him? He said that work was his. What was that? He's ginormous. That guy's massive.
It's literally like that scene in Community where Donald Glover comes back into the apartment carrying the pizzas and everything's on fire.
Yeah. Exactly. and Ulfa's like, Arinar, are you okay?
I have never been better.
Guys, he just blew up. We need to get out of here. We need to go to Anthea's. We're gonna get busted. We need to get out of here.
Geo is wearing
What
the
in Alia's name? Oh. What in Alia's name happened? And you know what? We can talk about it later. Fine.
Let's just get out of. Let's just get out of here. We just need to get out of here, Arinar. We need to go. Too many people witness that. We need to get out of here.
Yes.
As you say yes, you see a person walk around the corner with 2 guards, and they point across the street to Arinar.
You go on without me. I'll catch up. You shouldn't be seen. I'm gonna say this not facing them. I'm just going to say it so that they hear it, but that I'm not looking at them. You should not be seen associating with me right now. I will handle this.
Oh, okay.
Are you sure?
The guards are walking over. You have 30 seconds. Go.
Yes,
Yeah,
leave,
just
leave me be. We don't want you going. I don't want you going down with me if that is the state of things. Please leave.
okay. Yeah. Evis is just gonna like hook their arm in with Geo's and just to like and Ulfers and just like tug them along to wherever, just anywhere but here.
Amazing. You guys begin making your way off, away from Arinar and towards Anthea's shop. Arinar, as the 2 guards approach you, you can see one of them is wearing the purple kabuki mask with the flat rim thing, where the other one is wearing a white kabuki mask, and they both have their symbols, that imperial symbol of the barbed wire with the water in the center, in the colors of their same mask. And you can see the one with purple has a kind of larger scimitar at his hip than the one in white. And as they approach, they go, excuse me, sir. We've received reports that there was an incident of violence that happened here.
Was there?
Mm-hmm, indeed. Have you seen anything? We were told that a large gentleman, a large half-orc gentleman was berating a half-elf about something in the street.
Is is that considered to be violence? We simply had a disagreement. You see, we are old friends, and we simply had run into each other, and, well, one thing simply led to another. No violence was exchanged. He simply, he fell on his ass, if I'm going to be completely frank, and made a bit of a fool of himself.
How did he fall on his ass if there was no violence involved? Did you physically touch him and force him onto the ground?
No, I did not. I simply was holding on to his wrist in a manner in form of debate, and then I let go, and he simply fell backwards as he could not keep his footing. Which is interesting for our duelist. I don't know how he would manage to fall backwards if he is so prone to being balanced.
A duelist, you say? What do you mean, duelist? And the one with the purple mask turns to one white. He goes, "It sounds to me like you said that you had hold of him, released him, and then he fell over. It sounds like you were holding on to him during this conflict. Is that correct?"
That is correct, yes.
Now, did he consent for you to hold him in this way?
He did. He offered me a book that he had signed.
Where is this book that you speak of?
Did he leave it on the ground?
Your one, he gave it to you and you've still got it.
It would be this one.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Arinar Greywolf. I'm a detective, and I give him the card.
He takes the card. Can I please see your People's Republic visa as well, please?
Most certainly. And I hand him my visa.
He looks at them, looks to the guy to his left and goes, "Seems to check out. Same name, same image." Okay, well, sir, you know what? Just keep your hands to yourself in the future and try not to cause as many disruptions here in Uptown. It's not seemly, as it were. So please be on your way and make yourself scarce from this area.
Oh, yes, of course. It was really my bad bringing my low-town propensities up here. I will leave you to it. And I turn around and begin walking away.
As you walk away, the guy in the white mask goes, "Bloody downtown scum coming up further and further every day."
Yeah. I'm gonna go, just to make sure I'm not followed, I'm gonna do a couple of laps around a nearby block.
Cool.
Can I make sure I'm not being followed?
100%, yeah. With your 18 passive perception, is you're kind of carefully like checking over your shoulder and trying to lose them. You're doing the old slip. You're diving into a shot for a second, then coming back out, and you're giving them the slip. No, they're not following you. They're not following you.
Very cool. Then I will go to the predetermined location.
Amazing. Cut back into Leopold's office as he goes, "And you know what? In my 4th year of being at architect school, that is when I really came into my own."
And as he's doing this, I'll be asking questions. Like, can you go back to the first the floor? So like ask him like, "Oh, so with that style, you did this here, right?" So I'll be asking him to kind of go back like the shows, like as he's talking, like, "Oh, so you learned that method and you put that this aspect on this floor, right?" To kind of get him to flip back through them again.
Mm-hmm, yeah, he flips back through. He's showing you all the aspects, and he's giving you all that kind of information. He's like just breaking down like more about the materials and stuff that he's used, and like sections, and just kind of going over that kind of stuff with you guys. And he kind of stops a second, and he goes, "Oh goodness!" He looks at a watch that he has on his wrist and goes, "Oh golly! Oh geez, I meant to be somewhere right now. I actually have a ribbon that I am cutting. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm so burpy after the ale I had downstairs. Excuse me. I have somewhere to be. I have a ribbon to cut. Is there any other questions? I'd be happy to answer 1 or 2 more questions for you guys before I have to usher you out today." No, all good, wonderful, no problem. Right, let's get out of here then. And he kind of scrunches up all the papers and puts them on his chair, and he's like, "Oh, I'll deal with that later." And he like stands behind you guys and is like, "Come on then, let's make our way out."
Yes, coming.
You have been most kind. Thank you very much indeed. And I stand and step around the bear
Amazing.
rug again.
He walks you guys back down the stairs. Let me just ask this. Let me just ask this. He goes down the stairs first. Would you guys like to do anything as he goes down the stairs first? You do have the sketches of the different floors. We'll come back and see how good you guys did when you get to Anthea's. But yes, he goes down the stairs first, leaving you both stood at the top of the stairs, still in his office.
I go, Blanco, keep talking to him. Toad, keep talking to him. I'm going to run back and quickly just grab, while I got to draw, I'm not sure it's 100%. And I
dash back across the room,
grab the papers, stick them under my tunic, and
he gets halfway down the stairs, turns back around and goes, I just remembered another thesis that one of my professors told me that I think you would. Oh, where did your friend go? And he turns to Toad.
I would say I think they might have dropped something up there. They said they picked something up, they dropped it. They're always dropping their pens and pencils. As they're taking those notes, they dropped their own pen and left it back there.
And as I come out of the room, I hear Toad, and I go, the pen you'd given me. I go, found it, and I dropped it. I wanted to give it back to you. Leopold.
Thank you very much. And he's like, you know what? Actually, can you return it to the inkwell on my desk, please? And he hands it back to you.
And I put it back into.
Cool. Now, can you just tell me, Blanco, as you go back into the room to recover items, what are you grabbing? What are you grabbing? Where are you putting it? Let's talk about it.
I'm grabbing those papers.
You grabbing the maps?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've literally, and they are going under my tunic. It's like.
Anything else? If you'd like to make, you would know as you've been sat on the desk. There's paper strewn on the desk.
His scabbard is there and stuff like that.
Yeah, his sword is still on the table. You can see there's a couple more papers kind of strewn on the desk.
Can I do a check to see if anything is relating to like the guard schedule, like anything to do with like Uptown Reservoir?
100%, please do.
And what is this? A perception check?
Investigation.
Investigation. 9.
You have advantage on. I gave you. I did enhance ability on you.
Yeah, you have it. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. It's a very good point.
17.
17. You grab the maps. You begin stuffing them. Are you stuffing them into your clothes? Or are you stuffing them into a bag?
Into my tunic. Like they've gone straight into my tunic because we had put them on the chair, so I grabbed those. Yeah. Quickly down into the tunic, so they're not bulging or anything.
Cool. Can you make a sleight of hand check to see you stuffing it into the tunic, whether that does any damage to the maps?
A 7.
7. You hear as you stuff it in, but you're just going so fast that you just get it in there as fast as possible. Now, with your 17 investigation, as you look at the desk, you see a note addressed to Leopold. The note says, "My dearest friend, Leo, I have received word from the Prime that we shall be raiding the Torrenosu bathhouse very soon. Could you please supply us with the blueprints to this building? Your good friend, Lucian Clark."
Okay, I leave the note there, but I memorize it. Like I memorize it.
Cool.
And I'm checking around to see if the blueprint. Did you say the blueprints? Was it blueprints?
Yeah.
I check to see if the blueprints are around to
that place. No, you can't see any blueprints anywhere for the bathhouse.
All right, I just take a mental note of the message, and I leave.
Amazing. You rejoin Toad in the stairwell, and Leopold is like, "Well, wonderful. Come on then." And he continues, and he's like, "So the theory that my professor told me was a great one. He said archers over starches, and that's always stuck with me. Always stuck with me, that one. You've got to make sure you get your arches made out of concrete, not drywall, because drywall arches, they're just not going to cut it.
Blanco goes to him at this point. Rib vault or fan vault?
I'm more of a fan vault guy myself, I must admit. Let me ask, sconces or terrafits?
I've heard this. Sconces are for nonces.
I haven't heard that one, but I like it. I like the way it rhymes. I shall remember that. You guys get down into the main room. He closes the door and locks it with a key, and is like, right, shall I see you out then?
Sure, can I, yes, you can see us out, that's fine.
Of course, no problem at all. I'd be glad to do so. And he begins, with his little cane, kind of just hobbling along as he walks around to the beads, spreads the beads, and he goes, go on through.
It was a pleasure, and I go to Toad. We might need to leave quickly.
Toad looks distraught. Okay, yeah.
As you guys get outside the tea house, Leopold stands there and goes, you know what? It has been such a pleasure to be able to talk about architect with real architects. Architecture is one of those few things that I rarely get to discuss with people. There's so few of us in the world. So you know what? If you ever need anything from me, I would be more than happy to assist you in anything that I can. Especially to do with architecture. But I also have pull in other ways. So if you need a favor, feel free to ask. But I'll make sure I get one back from you, of course.
Of course. And so thank you again for taking the time to speak with us. I know you're busy.
No problem. I must be gone. And you see him just beeline it for the gate in Uptown that leads to the port, basically.
And I turn to Toad and I go, Toad, I hope you don't mind. And I took this as we're out, walking away, and as
Blanco reveals it, you see the blueprint. You see the blue of the blueprints sticking out of their tunic.
Oh gosh. I guess it's fine. We're not coming back here ever again. So I'm just worried that we're the last people that, and he knows us. So we'll ask Arinar. I'm not sure if that was the best. I'm just worried that since we're the last people that he spoke to about it, he's gonna.
See.
You can still see Leopold within eyesight. He's not gone out of eyesight.
Maybe we can say that he dropped them. That he dropped them outside the room.
Okay. Good idea.
Leopold, wait! Oh my gosh! Leopold.
Yes. So he comes back.
Go on the ground. Look. They're trailing you. I don't know how they caught on to you. They caught on to something. Did you mean to bring these out here?
What was it? So what have you put, the blueprints?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Not my drawings of them, just the actual.
He goes, I put those on.
Oh my gosh.
I put those on my chair, and he quickly scoops them up. He's like,
I'm gonna help him. Dude, oh my gosh, are they okay? I saw them because you were walking. I was like, what is that falling from you?
Oh
my God.
I think they got caught in your ropes as you turned around from the chair.
Oh
my gosh.
Can you guys make a persuasion check for me? Or deception, whichever. I'm happy either way.
Critical fail.
16 and a critical fail. He looks at you both and he goes, I swear.
That's what I was thinking too, because we put them down, but for whatever reason you're walking and they just trailed. I don't know how they even happened.
He leans in a tad embarrassed and goes, my mind isn't quite what it used to be these days. I'm sorry, I'm quite embarrassed. I shall go return these to my study and see you soon. I apologize. I've embarrassed myself today, and I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put my small toad hand on his shoulder, like, no, you did not embarrass yourself. It happens, okay? And your mind is still sharp, because only a sharp mind can design something that beautiful. So no.
As you are so astute, Toad is correct. Toad speaks from the heart, and he is so correct.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much. And he kind of steps past you and he goes, again, thank you for the conversation. It's been an absolute pleasure. And as you see him step back in, he's like rubbing his head as he steps back in to the into the shop and is like, oh God, what so strange. And makes his way back through. And you guys are left in the street. You can see that the two guards that Arinar was just talking to are now posted up a couple of doors down, just leaning on the wall, and are kind of chatting to each other. There is a flow of people here, but you cannot see your guys' crew anywhere.
Could I insight check him when he was telling us, like, oh, I'm just getting old? Could I have insight check that?
Yeah, go for it.
My gosh, 7.
As far as you know, he wasn't suspicious of you guys at all. At all. He seemed to just be really embarrassed about having a senile moment, we'll call it. Yeah, so what's your guys' plan? Where are you guys heading at this point?
Did Oliver never reach out to us? Like he said he was going to reach out.
Right.
He never did he?
Like where you guys were.
Nothing.
We know where to meet up, though. We know because we planned to reconvene there, right? We knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So you guys making your way to Anthea's?
And as we're making way, I tell Toad about the note that I saw on the deck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's... Wow. This keeps getting deeper and deeper. And good work back there. Really good work. Really keen eye on those things you noticed, because I was not... Seriously, though, the way you were able to perceive that, that was amazing. Really good job, Marco.
Thank you, but I have to say, Toad, it is your honor and your continued, high regard for being truthful that I gave back the blueprints. But thank you. I've written down as much as I can remember and what I drew, and hopefully it will be enough. But you always bring out the best in me. You are such a good companion.
Okay.
So
you guys make your way through Uptown. You arrive at, come in and take some time, and you all find each other there, gathered in the entry of Anthea's shop, which, by the way, smells fucking spectacular. As you all do walk in, you can tell that this shop has got all the spices, all the herbs, and you've got like piles of spices and herbs, dotted in like containers, basically, that you can, and they have like little spoons that you can scoop your own into like a pot or something. You can imagine Anthea, from what you could tell, she's probably pretty environmentally conscious and is not wanting to be selling containers to people and hoping that they'll bring their own, from the looks around the shop. But you can smell, that smokiness of smoked paprika. You can smell some of that gorgeous, like earthy smell of cumin. You get some of that basil that takes you, to that gorgeous, like Italian kind of feel, and it's just all around you. The final thing that we are going to quickly do, it's the last thing that we're going to do for this session, guys. We're going to have Blanco sketch out each floor of this to see how much you guys actually recovered. So, T, this is how we're going to do this. You ready?
God, this will take me ages.
Okay.
And I gave them enhanceability to help, so
cool. What I'll say is this. I'm going to give you, because Toad gave you enhanceability, I'll give you 40 seconds on the clock to draw each floor. You're gonna have the floor on screen, and you can start drawing when I say so, and then this will be what you guys go off. I will not be showing you guys these maps again until you enter the reservoir. So I'm gonna just set the timer quickly. Here we go. Let's do that. So 40 seconds. Toad bought you an extra 10 seconds with his enhanceability. Okay. Basement floor. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
This is...
Wow.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
25 seconds left.
Okay.
Halfway through.
I'm proud of you, Arinar, by the way.
Yeah.
We're not trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Same.
I
Okay.
5 seconds.
Okay.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1. Done.
Okay.
Cool.
Next level.
Next floor?
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Shit.
The red marks are where the points of entry that you assessed are.
Okay. Gio's quite.
I didn't know I was going to do this today, but this is awesome. I'm glad I'm doing this. 20 seconds gone.
Gio's quite proud of his cape.
Gio's quite proud of his cape.
I mean, who would
just kind of swishing it a little bit.
Was mine sort of a
10 seconds, T.
Okay.
5 seconds.
Okay.
Time.
Fuck.
Cool. Next floor.
Hang on.
3, 2,
Yeah.
1, go.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Fuck.
You gonna screen grab these and have them?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
cool.
we'll take photos of them and so the group can see all the drawings that Blanco did. 10 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Next floor. You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Go. Right. Ticking down. Tickety tock. 30 seconds left. As I said, this will be the last time you guys will see these maps on screen until you guys enter the reservoir itself. You'll be going off of Blanco's drawings. If you had kept the blueprints, you would have had these maps.
But also,
No, that was no, not keeping them was the right move. I totally
10
agree with
seconds
that.
left, too.
I was thinking about
I'm
Arinar. I was like, what would Arinar do? I was like, we shouldn't be doing this. So I was like,
Just now, I thought of
Time.
taking screenshots of Shard.
You filthy cheat, Amber.
you don't have
Work
the
smarter,
map.
not harder,
Woohoo.
Bodhi. Work smarter, not harder.
Work smarter, not harder. Okay, guys. So that is where we're going to end this episode.
God.
Arriving at Anthea's place, ready to start your preparation for this heist. It is now, I would say, probably, it was about 12 o'clock when I last, so I'd say it's probably about, 2, 3 o'clock at this point. You guys have, there's been a decent amount of time has gone. So we'll call it 2, 3 o'clock. With that being said, also, I just want to quickly say before I do my outro, Sam, that scene with Meridas is my favorite scene of this campaign so far. I just want to say that. That
Thank you.
so badass, dude. The way that you handled that was just magnificent. I loved the whole interaction. That was fucking awesome. That was one of my absolute favorites of all my D&D things. That was that's up there as one of my favorite encounters with an NPC. That was sick,
you.
dude. That was
Is that
very
a D20 inspiration now? Because is that D12?
Yes.
So will that be a D20 inspiration?
I was about to say bump it up to a D20. You've got advantage on one of your rolls.
oh,
I think it's actually that's not technically advantage. That's just adding a
No,
D20
yeah,
to the
yeah.
D20.
Dang.
Yeah, exactly.
Get a
Cool.
50 on a roll.
Get 40 on a get 60 on a roll.
Yeah, I'll get a
60.
60 like a 60 investigation.
Thank you everyone for watching this episode of the Skyrealm. We are so stoked that you joined us here at Homie and the Dude. Couple of things. Please subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying any of this plot, the story, these characters, this amazing cast, any part of it. If you enjoy it, drop a subscribe. Other than that, we also have our Discord server where you can interact with Tom and myself, see loads of behind the scenes content, and we have a community of nearly 500 people in that Discord at the moment where you can spend time with those people, get to know them, and that's really, really awesome. As well as that, we have our newsletter of holding. Thank you, Blake. Our newsletter of holding. And in there, you can get free D&D supplements. You get entered into our family-made dice giveaways. You get updates on our airship combat Kickstarter that we are going to be launching. And finally, you also get more behind-the-scenes content, and all of that is completely free of charge. The last thing on the list is Homie and the Dude has opened our Etsy store for dice. So if you want some dice made by myself, made by Tracy, made by Tom, then go check out that store. We are so stoked to have that up and live. We currently have 3 styles of dice on there. We've got purple ceruleanite power gems, we've got emerald ceruleanite power gems, and we have our Surfs Up set of dice as well. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. Otherwise, thank you for watching this. Thank you for being a part of this journey with this amazing cast. And we will see you guys in the next episode.